The Los Angeles Chargers were able to squeak by the Minnesota Vikings in a battle of two 0-2 squads. Now, both teams seem like copies of each other. They're very similar. They're sloppy. They have quarterbacks that are great at putting up stats, but they haven't really won a lot. And then you also have just teams that are very high-powered offenses as well, not a lot of defense. And these are also reasons why they're winless, is the sloppiness. They're both turnover prone, they're both mismanaged in clutch situations, and we saw that today. And that's kind of why both of these teams nearly lost this game. It was like, who really wants to win and get to 1-2? The Vikings had two crucial turnovers, and one lost them the game by Kirk Cousins throwing the ball into traffic, intercepted at the goal line, and that was it. We saw again the reckless Brandon Staley calling a very questionable 4th and 1 call inside their own 25-yard line. And you don't have Austin Eckler, and you're going short yardage. I think at that point, just throw the ball. Put it in Justin Herbert's hands. He's your franchise quarterback. They couldn't stop Keenan Allen all day. He tore up the Minnesota Vikings for 200 yards off 18 catches. This is just a mismanagement that we're seeing, and if they were to lose this, I actually think it would have been a blessing in disguise. We would have seen him get fired, and he's playing with fire. He's getting away with it. But again, the Spanos family has to really say, like, do we want this anymore? Because I'll say it again, they're wasting the prime of Justin Herbert. It was very touch and go. And yet again, there were times on defense where they were just undisciplined. They were not being consistent in getting stops, and that is your calling card, right? You are a defensive coach, and it hasn't translated despite a lot of talent. Let's face it, this defense on paper is stacked, but they're not getting it done on a consistent basis. Now, they've made plays to win, and that's something to be acknowledged, but I still have concerns. I don't think this is the Chargers figuring it out, because they also lost Mike Williams. I told you last week, he's historically been banged up, and I never wish injuries on anybody. Let's just make that clear. But now he's out for the year, what's confirmed to be a torn ACL. For a team that lacks big plays, yes, they got him, but now Mike Williams was a big part of that. They're gonna have to find somebody else to be that, because you can't force feed Keenan Allen on slants and curl routes and little crossing routes, little shallow crossers across the middle. They have to find a way to get vertically down the field, and we don't know how long Austin Eckler's out either. And for the Minnesota Vikings, now you're 0-3. Again, you're putting up great stats. You're looking pretty good offensively, but again, these are not translating to wins. This has been Kirk Cousins' career label. He is great at empty calories, but not a lot of winning. It's gonna pretty much sink their chances. I mean, it's very hard to come back from 0-3. I don't know what really the idea is. I mean, they have a lot of pieces. I'm not saying fire sale it just yet, but they could definitely just rip the band-aid and punt the season, because it's going to be hard to dig yourself out from 0-3 just to even make the wild card at this point as the 7th seeded. Imbalanced as the conferences are, the division, I think you can ship it. I mean, Detroit looks to be back on track. Even Green Bay looks pretty good. And between Chicago and Minnesota, yes, they're both 0-3, but you're not going to get a lot of wins based on the schedule and whatever else, because they still have glaring flaws on that side.